Hello, and welcome to a video walkthrough of what you're doing in class today. I am not here because I am. That's an old-fashioned metal song called Down with the Sickness. Here's what you're doing today. Journal entry, obviously, then thinking about vocab, then thinking about some big ideas that will come up in our book, then thinking about an article that the author wrote about people in our book, closing with a video that looks at the time period, and maybe if you have time, starting reading the book, because that is your homework. That's the overview. Let's take a look at all the different pieces. The overall purpose of today is to start thinking about the time period and the context of our new book of Mice and Men. So here's the journal. This and most other things will be printed and on the front table. So for the journal entry, you're going to pick one of these 4 pictures. These are all pictures of real people from the time period of the book. And you're going to write 4 to 6 sentences that takes their perspective. So you imagine what could it be like to be in their shoes. That's the journal. The next thing you're going to do is jump into vocab. So you can see you've got 12 new vocab words for your new book. And you're just going to get introduced to each word. So first, read the word and see the word in the wild. So in the book, and take a guess. Based off the context of each sentence, what do you think it could mean? After you've guessed, look up the actual definition, and that way you'll get introduced to the word pretty solidly. Then you can practice spelling the word by doing the crossword puzzle that I have on the back of the vocab thing. So that's vocab. Then into big ideas. So this book has a lot of really interesting ideas going on, and this is the one thing we'll follow up on in class on Tuesday. So you can use this just to get you organized, and we'll talk about it more on Tuesday, but these are the big ideas that this book will explore. So you've seen something similar to this before. You're going to write if you agree or disagree next to each loaded statement. And then on the back, I've got some questions about which one you like the most and why you think I'm asking you these questions. What's one prediction you have about what could happen in this book? For instance, this is one of the statements. What could that mean? What could your prediction be for later in the book? Alright, that brings us into your last 2 steps for class today. So, I have this series of articles written by the author that talks about the real people that he based the book on. And as you can see, the article is kind of long. So instead of making you read the whole thing, I broke it into pieces. And you'll see in Canvas, this is where you find it. You're in charge of a page, and then you're also in charge of a slideshow, which is this. So once you're in, you can see these are your directions. Basically, you're going to read your page, find 2 quotes, and find a picture that shows us what your page is about. And you can see each class has each person in charge of each page, and then you're going to build your pages here. So 2 quotes and a picture. And that brings us to the end of class. So, to close out class, you've looked at so many different things, so many different context things for the book. You had your journal where you thought about real people in the Great Depression, you looked at your vocab, you thought about big ideas in the book, you read an article and interpreted some of the stuff that the writer was saying about real people that lived at the time period. Now let's get a feel for the time period from every teacher's favorite, a video by Hank Green. What's it called? Crash Course. Every teacher loves Crash Course. So we're going to watch Hank Green's The Great Depression video. That'll give you like the full context that you need. All this closing out, if you have time, you should start reading chapter 1 because your homework is to read chapter 1 and then submit the Flipgrid online. What do I mean by the Flipgrid, you may ask? Well, like pretty much everything else today, your classwork stuff is also on Canvas. Here is your homework. You're going to read chapter 1, which is really only about 10 pages left, and then you want to make a Flipgrid video response that answers these 3 questions. So that's your homework. So if after all this you've got time left in class, you should silently read chapter 1. That's the overview. I hope I feel better by Monday, Tuesday. And good luck to you. If you have any questions, please feel free to talk to your nice substitute, and I hope you guys have a great class day.